Standing before the armor foe, sharing blades but falling low.
From the roof I watch him fly, parts and pieces falling nigh. Blessing him with the purple gray, his hopes and dreams now do fade.
Good morning, everyone. It's 4 o'clock in the morning, and we are going to get on to the next part of this. You might be wondering why I'm up at 4 o'clock in the morning. It's because I love it. It's when everyone else is asleep, so it's like my lonely time, and I do love being lonely. So we're going to go ahead and do this part. This part looks like it'll be pretty easy, and let's approach it the solid snake way, which means we'll procure our weapons on site in order to, defeat Metal Gear. So how are we going to sneak into Shadow of Moses on this one? I was about to apply all mods, but looks like STLR took a little mercy on this. So strategically, how do we want to do this? We still have Solver V1 as part of our configuration, so we can work with that. I am going to hold control and try to paint an inset, but we see that I didn't map it to that. So let's expand inset and let's change this to be after. And now we see that that is now a thing. And I'm able to basically paint my selection for inset, which might be necessary for this operation. And then once I push it in, we're almost good, except there's the thinnest, littlest face just forgotten. And obviously I hate that when that happens. So let's try that again. Maybe something like that. And of course we missed the one on the other side. Let's try it again. Alright, 3 tries and we got it. So it makes me wonder how that can be better in the future. Any setbacks, I'm not looking at it thinking, oh, that's a setback. I'm thinking, how can that not be a setback anymore? So typically when I add an edge loop, we just place it based on where you're hovering. But what if you didn't want that? What if you wanted something a little more traditional, like regular edge loop, like this one? That one's pretty popular. So let us grab it and we will jump out of tour mode and we'll paste our command there, and let's alter the argument because we have a whole bunch of transform happening at the end and we don't need that. And also we want this behavior to be on control and edge, but it looks like it's not going to be that way. So let's try it on shift and edge. I just kind of randomly jumped over to a random configuration and tried to force my way in. But now we have a traditional looping method. And for this, we want to jump back over to the first configuration. And we probably also want to just get rid of a few things. But before we can do that, we got to make sure their connection happens. So I'm actually using a previous version of nsolve in this video, or nflow. This has been updated to be even better publicly. I just haven't updated on my computer because it's complicated. And also, in case I didn't say it, I know I sound terrible today. I apologize. I don't know. I think I don't want to say I can't be a doctor and theorize what's wrong with me, but I did take a vacation. And right before the vacation, the news was saying, hey, the death flu's a thing. Don't be afraid. Don't forget to be afraid of the death flu. And I was like, no, screw you. I was already afraid at home. Can't tell me to go be afraid outside now. So as a result, I just went on the vacation without any sort of fear because, seriously, if I tell my girlfriend that I'm afraid of stuff like that, she'll make fun of me and call me a soy boy. And also a loser because she sees me all the time go and do things that I want to do, but whenever she wants to do something, I'll be like, the news is saying that Corona's rising up, so not completely fair to her. Also, we're correcting a 32 round circle. We don't have to live this way. And also, we're about to paint each edge that we're dissolving. We don't have to live that way either. All we have to do is just set this to after, and we'll be able to just paint out the action that we're doing, just getting rid of it. But I look at circles and I'm imagining what it would be like to recircle, meaning to redefine a circle. This was one of the ideas that was part of the design plan, but we just weren't able to get it in time or at all. So now I'm back to the idea of how will it work and imagining the idea. But basically a circle needs to be recircled, meaning that this circle, first of all, this is a stellar, you know, we should maybe do something in Box Cutter to make sure that people can't put 31 round circles, because he got me again. So let us go back. Let's just get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Now let's see what we got. Because why lose the work that we just did? And we do want that one. So let's check our count now. And 16. And I almost want to jump into the part where we start making scripts, but it's too early for that. You know, start spoiling the surprises, guys, of how we can take everything further. So instead, we will just go in and do it in a way where we don't like it. Because we got to learn the lesson first, right? We got to learn that, hey, is there a better way? Not unless it's been thought about and explored, there isn't. Let's give this a space. Let's right click and circle. And wow, let's try it again. Circle. And what do we want to try here? Maybe just regular. And it's just a matter of time before this becomes part of the kit. I mean, not completely part of the kit, but at least. All right, are we grabbing things we're not supposed to? In fact, let's just, this circle does not feel very circly to me. Okay, and we have some things happening that we do not want happening. So just having a little fun whenever it comes to loop tools, just trying to understand it. Why would it jump all the way over there and do a merger? It is a very weird decision. Sorry, I'm having a runny nose too, so I might have to run, blow my nose. God dang. All right, one moment. Okay, and as I walked away, it made me realize that, hey, this circle, no, I'm not going to look like an idiot thanks to this circle anymore. I will try recircling. We will figure out recircling. All right, we'll just place that point here. I mean, it really doesn't matter. This point is just us setting up where our circle is going to spawn from. So let's press D. Oh, let's start nflow, then press D. Jump over to install. Just know that now, if you have the latest version, whenever you're holding a bandolier, you can press S and it will scale. I mean, now that I've scaled it so huge, I see that mine is actually very small, because on all the other computers, it's humongous. I'm now just on the main computer and just haven't updated. I just wanted to jump in and record because of the guilt I felt about not doing a competent video yesterday. And we'll roll this to be, we'll give it a 16er. And we do have the ability to press G and move it, so if we wanted it absolutely perfect, but we just want it there. And now we're getting somewhere. But where are we getting? Well, we don't need merge. We don't need that level of getting. So let's take this back into local again. And now that we have our new circle, we'll just extrude that in. And just delete that. Oops, it looks like we have a few loops, so let's get up on that verti mergy. You know, happy hour at 5, verti mergies with MX. MX2 serving verti mergies till 7 p.m. It's kind of a long shift, to be honest, but I got you guys. So we are going to just grab some edges and remove them. So maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And I'm just hoping that these decisions are right. I got to think faster because I've been wasting time in this video. You know, the goal is to begin speeding up until I finally just get to my regular way of working, which is where I'm just talking and work is just happening. Because, you know, I've always worked on jobs where they're like, they'll want to fire me for talking too much. And, you know, if I'm just doing my job, I've realized that I can basically do anything. Like I can almost say whatever I want until it starts becoming HR problems. But that'll bring me into start talking about funny stories about times I've gotten fired, because believe it or not, guys, I've been fired a lot. And like George Carlin says, you can tell. But Yeah, I've been fired a lot in my life. In fact, I've been fired from, for me to be working on add-ons, I have to have been fired from every job ever. And currently I work a job that I can't get fired from. But I did realize through some soul searching that I would fire me. I would fire the hell out of me. So as a result, I'm going to work harder because I want to keep my job. I like working. I come from a family of workers, like for reals. My dad's like 84. He never stops working. Even when I see him, he's like, "Yeah, I can come see you, but I gotta go back to work." I'm like, "But you're like 82. You don't even make money. You don't even do anything." And I know that sounds terrible to say, but really, he just sits at a laundromat. Also, that little poppin' hard loop is currently under the knife. There's a couple of issues that we're examining with it, but I'm so glad that users love hard loop because I really intended it to be positioned that way, to be, the darling that everyone gets introduced to. So for people to love it and accept it definitely makes me glad because I was worried that it would be recognized as a something less, and that would have hurt some feelings, guys. Not my feelings because I don't code, but it is important to try to not set up things to make the make the person who's behind it feel bad about it, right? So I'm glad everyone has accepted hard loop and they're enjoying hard loop because it definitely means a lot to the originator. And we're just looking at this, just thinking about how we want to handle this, and we went kind of nuts on the other side. So maybe something like that. And something about just adding loop cut on control and never getting to R. I just, I used to make jokes at the beginning of this tool that I could have a class action lawsuit against control R for how many times I've had to press it just for scanning. And I don't know, it's just not my favorite hotkey. Like if a girl was talking sensually into my ear, she was like, "Hey, loop tools," I'd be like, oh yeah, loop tools. She'd be like, knife tool. I'd be like, "Ooh, knife tool." She'd be like, "Knife hotkey." I'd be like, girl, that's nasty. Why are you talking about that? But no, I'm just making jokes here. We're about to set origin, but this time let's do hard op set origin. We'll press B in order to just go from this corner to this corner. We'll hold R, and let's press R to make sure that we're setting only the location. And now we can split it without problem. Just depending on what kind of fun we're trying to have today. And really, the way my nose is running, the only fun I'm going to have is getting some Mucinex and making this dry up and then getting back to work because, stopping on the account of a runny nose, there I am back to being called a soy by my woman. So we obviously don't want these things. I want to be a big manly man to her, all right? And also, as a result, I'm back to work. Gotta mend the house, guys. So we look at this and we're like, why is that whole thing an Ngon? Let's get rid of this. Let's select everything and we'll just exit for a brief moment and just merge any points by distance that need to be merged. Oh, never mind. I see what's happening here. Vert display is so important, except in some cases it can be problematic, like where I just showed it. And so that is something that we'll need to have something dealt with. In fact, the timestamp of 1359 will be sent to the relevant party, and a fix will be demanded, even though they are supposed to be on vacation. Like the goal is to work on these things, like the oil field. I come from an oil field background, and typically in the oil field, you would work for a period of time, you would get paid, you would do something called turn off, which is where you would take your money and go become a crackhead and not come back to work. And I want to give people that opportunity. I mean, I don't want people to turn off because, I need them to come back to work, but, the 24-hour work system just wasn't working. I mean, it does for me because I must always be the man on the wall, watching these tools and making sure that they are impeccable for the next customer. You know, it matters that you enjoy them, but it also matters that the next person enjoys them immensely. That the next customer who purchases it doesn't experience a single issue. That their experience with the product is even smoother than the person who complained their way all the way to a refund. At least this is my philosophy. So as a result, we do try to be rapid with our responses to customer issues. So a lot of updates are just secret updates, because back in the day I used to send a lot of emails, and I would just get such terrible replies and hurtful responses, and I just don't want to trigger that. Like, if people don't care, then I don't want to trigger them telling me they don't care. I'm trying to just tell you that the product's been updated. That's all I'm saying, that the product has been updated. And there's never a need for rudeness, but I've discovered that batch sending email will get you batch responses, and sometimes these batch responses just aren't things you want to be walking into. So we are at the end of this, except we have doubles. We can tell because these flows are looking questionable. So, and also I do not like seeing wireframe in edit mode. I mean subdivision wireframe. I'll have to come up with a setting that does show it in a way in edit mode that's acceptable. I was looking at a post by Jonathan Lapel that was pretty good on it. Like, it showed a really interesting configuration. Also, it looks like there's might be a fix happening for the Mac situation I was obsessed with last night. And also my nose is beginning to run again. So let us right click and look at what Analyze is giving us. So we want to dissolve that. Maybe we'll dissolve that. And then we can just perform a soft bridge above, and London bridges falling down. Come around and see my polygons take it downtown. No, I'm kidding. I'm just over here making random reps. And just like that. I mean, I don't even know why I'm adding all these extra loops. I should be reducing loops. I'm sorry. I'm being weird. All right. I just look at geometry and just hope that I can make it even and have an equal quad density. So maybe something like that is actually more acceptable. So with that, I've covered this part, and my nose is only running a little bit like an anime character. So with that, we'll go back into camera view and just take a look at our result as the camera goes around it. And that will be the end of that segment. So I'll be back with the next part, but I wanted to do this part slowly because I want to really enjoy exploring the solutions that this gun offers us a chance to explore. But I do thank everyone for watching, and with that, I will blow my nose, upload this video, and I'll see you guys next time.
Interstellar hyper-solving in the dark, and solves light, a dim fading spark. Rotting away, reflecting on a worthless life, led by the cult leader, giving in strife.
In the temple of hops I stand so proud, the glowing mark of hops my shroud. No one will pass my nights of purple light, reanimated ghouls, ready for the fight.
Almighty and sweet fate entwined, molten gold, cursed armor confined, given a mission dark and grim, to find and kill her hopes like dim.
Levels and levels they must ascend, boss cutter knights, no chance to bend. My blade awaits Cthulhu's armored might, confident in victory in this eternal night.
When the six ghoulish knights fall, purple marks the dreaded call, standing before the armor foe, sharing blades but falling low.
From the roof I watch him fly, parts and pieces falling nigh. Blessing him with the purple blade, his hopes and dreams now do fade.
Falling through the air in parts I break, touch of the blade my sword did quake. Incapacitated, feeling small, an eternal fall, a hopeless thrall.
He drifts, lost in depth between, dignity lost in shattered dream. Every inch he falls deeper into despair. I stand proud with the confident
Shadows fall, hopelessness takes hold. Dignity lost, a story untold.
With every inch his spirit fades, darkness consumes as hope degrades. I am the mistress of this night, watching him fall, an endless flight. In the dark, I dream of nflow light, burning in hope through this night. But falling deeper, an eternal fall, my dreams and hopes they stall.
Perhaps this was the design, to break his spirit, to entwine. In the shadows he finds his place, an eternal fall.
In this dark space,
In the dark, he dreams of flows gleam, burning in pain. In pain, hell rise again.
falling through the air, in colorful blue. High dreams and hopes they stall. Perhaps this was the design, to break his spirit, to entwine. In the shadows he finds his place, an eternal fall. In this dark space, in the dark he dreams of rose green, burning in pain, I'll rise again.
In the dark,